Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, who joins us, and I appreciate him spending time with us, syndicated columnist, former head of Policy Department of the Treasury, father of Reaganomics, a top economist. You can also go to his website. We'll put that URL up on screen for everyone as well, where you can read his articles. He also allows us to resyndicate them at Infowars.com. I wanted to get him on to really break this down, because Mark Faber and Ron Paul and all these other experts, here's the headlines. Experts, Fed's QE Unlimited will lead to total collapse. That's a quote. Ron Paul came out on Fox and said Bernanke admits economy's, quote, in bad shape. That's a quote. Fed announcement may mean beginning of end of QE3. Then they said, well, no, it's not. This is very technical stuff, but most of the experts that have been right in the past say this spells a major correction middle of next year. I try to study this and don't understand it all. So that's why we bring in people like Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. We'll look at this briefly. Then we'll look at the geopolitical and get an update on what he thinks is happening there. But, Doc, thanks for coming on with us.
Please do, Alex.
Well, you just heard my question there. What's happening? Why is there all this concern over the QE Unlimited?
That's a good question. There shouldn't be. The Fed has made it clear it's not going to stop printing money to buy the bonds until its benchmarks are met, and those are specified in terms of the unemployment rate and the real GDP growth rate, and the economy is nowhere near either. So, and it's not going to be. So QE will continue. I have no idea why the big banks like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, why they put out all this propaganda about tapering. Bernanke has made it very clear he's not going to do anything like that until he has a firm recovery. But he can't stop, because the entire financial system now is rigged based on the bond purchases by the Fed. So if they stop purchasing the bonds, the prices will fall, the interest rates will go up, the bond market will collapse, the stock market will collapse, the balance sheets of the big banks, too big to fail, will turn insolvent again, and the whole system will come down. So we can't stop, because in the short run, the immediate effect would be disaster. The long-run effect, of course, will also be disaster, because eventually printing all of these new dollars will scare the rest of the world away from the dollar. And as they leave the dollar, the exchange value of the dollar will collapse, and then the Fed will lose control. So they're going to lose control. If they stop QE, they'll lose control in the short run. If they continue QE, they will lose control later on.
I don't remember in recent memory having the Obama administration and the media saying we're going to begin tapering, and then you have the Fed coming out and saying we're not going to in the same day, and we see Obama conflicting with Kerry on serious statements. This looks like a bunch of different special interests fighting with each other. Is that accurate?
I don't really know. It's not up to Obama what the Fed does. And the Fed's made it clear that it's going to save the big banks. So I think what the outcome will be, the Fed puts off the collapse of the big banks for a while, but the cost of that is everyone's collapse. The banks and everyone else's. Only it comes later. Now, about Syria, I don't really think that the Israel lobby has given up on the war. I don't think the neoconservatives have given up. They have a strategic agent inside the Obama regime, Susan Rice, the National Security Advisor. I don't think the neocon agent at the UN, Samantha Powers, or whatever her name is, they haven't given up on their war. They don't quite know what to do, because everything was going in order until Putin